Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bryan Cooper Show. Today's episode is all about setting and achieving goals. Have you ever felt like you're drifting through life without a clear path? Or perhaps you set goals before only to see them fade away unfulfilled? Well, you're not alone, and today's episode could be the game changer you're looking for. We are going to go over the number one reason why people stay stuck, why goals are not achieved, and then the number one solution to that problem. So whether it's improving your relationship, advancing in your career, improving the health of your body, and growing your finances, you can achieve any goal. But what we need to do is set a goal that truly matters to you. So setting and achieving goal starts now. Have you ever wondered why 92% of people that attempt a New Year's resolution will fail within a short period of time? I mean, it's less than 2 weeks. In fact, January 12th is National Quitters Day. I think it's really sad. And my hope is that everybody that's listening to this podcast is not a part of that statistic. Let's change that number. Let's not be a part of that. Let's accomplish whatever goal we set our mind to in 2025. It's right around the corner, and I love to see everyone accomplish a goal. Whether it's a big goal, small goal, it doesn't really matter. I think we just need to set goals because goals are not to gain something, even though you do. It's really about growth. Because when you set the intention, you set your mind on an idea, and then you develop yourself into the person you need to become to accomplish that goal, all along it was really about becoming. It was about development, which is why in the personal development world, we set goals because that's what helps us grow, which is why I love growth. I love goals. I love personal development. I love taking time to work on ourselves daily so we can have more to give to the world. Because that's really what it's all about. We have talents, we have abilities, we have so many opportunities that we could produce and that we could create if we just tap into what we have, what we've been given. We have so many gifts and abilities. The more that we work on personal growth and achieving goals, we develop more of that talent and ability, and we have more to give back to the world, which I think is exciting. So 2025 could be the year of giving back, creating incredible programs, doing things that are just different that is in our life right now. And the reason why people fail so quickly is because they have a program that's running that's doing this one thing. It's sending the wrong signal. They haven't connected to the energy of your goal. Because the number one reason why people fail to accomplish a goal is the fact that their goal is an energetic frequency and they're sending the wrong signal. That's it. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you can't help but get that reality. These are the words from Albert Einstein. And then Nikola Tesla, these are some pretty brilliant guys. He said that if you want to understand the mysteries of the universe, just think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And then Bob Proctor, who I studied under, he said, you have to get on the frequency of the good that you desire, which got my mind working on what does all of this mean and how can we utilize these brains, these brilliant people to help accomplish a goal. And it's very simple because everything is energy, including your goal. So say, for instance, I want to achieve a higher financial status. Like I want to earn more next year. I've wanted to earn more for a while, but I haven't been able to do it. I feel like I just tap out. There's a threshold. There is this ceiling that I bump into. I've only ever been able to earn this amount of money. And that's because the amount that we earn is based off of a program that's in our subconscious mind. Because we've been programmed with other people's beliefs, their ideas, and they're just passed on to us. And so somewhere we pick those up, and then we think that we're only capable of doing this. And it's a program that runs with complete efficiency. And so if we want to change something, we really have to change how we think, and we have to change the energy that we send out there. It's that simple. So we have energetic frequencies that we send out all the time that get us what we have in our life. Like what is going on in our life, what we have, what we've accumulated is a representation of what's going on in the subconscious mind. We send the frequencies out there, we take the action based off of those frequencies, and then the result is what we have in our life, whether we like it or not. Somebody that attempts a New Year's resolution, they have this idea of, oh, I'd like to do that. Oh, I'd like to become that, or I'd like to, weight loss is a big thing. I'd like to lose 30 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever the goal is. But they go to the gym, and then all of a sudden life takes over in a short period of time, like January 12th, and then the gyms become a ghost town again, except for the people that are dedicated to working out. And most of the people that are at the gym, they developed a habit of going to the gym, and that's why they stay there. They have a program that says, I need to be at the gym. They go to the gym. They've made it a part of their life. It's a part of their program, and they're connected with the energy of working out. But for somebody that's never done that before, it's not so easy because the old program already has our calendar filled and set for the day. So when you throw in a whole new routine, it's uncomfortable, it's out of the norm, and it just wants to get back to the normal routine because it's used to the energy that it sends out. It's not on the frequency of the healthy body that you want to be. So say, for instance, if you weigh 150 pounds and you want to weigh 130, or if you weigh 200 pounds and you want to weigh 180 pounds, and you've never been able to take that weight off, it's just that the subconscious mind has a program that says that this is who I am. This is the program to run. And so it will always revert back to that program. That's why you see weight loss programs where people will lose weight and then gain weight and then lose weight, then gain weight. And I love the idea of releasing weight versus losing weight, because I think losing weight is a losing proposition when it comes to the weight loss industry. We need to rethink about how that all works. It really is releasing the weight so it never comes back, and then building a program that suggests that you are a healthy person based off of the thoughts you think and the new program that you've installed. You are now connected to that healthier weight. So that's the new program, the new habit. You can't help but be that healthy weight because that's how you're sending your energy out. So I'm hoping this makes sense. So I'm going to keep working with this idea on this episode. So everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. And you got to match the frequency. Your goal is an energetic frequency. So say, for instance, when it comes to earning money, you could be earning, let's say, $70,000 a year, but you'd like to earn 100 or double it and earn 140. It doesn't really matter what the number is, but our current program says, I am capable and I'm only able to earn this. That's my ceiling. Well, we actually have to change the frequency that we send out there. We have to tune into a different frequency in order to attract, let's say, 140,000. Or if you're earning 100,000 and you want to go to 1,000,000. Years ago, my wife and I, we made a decision that we were going to be the top of our company. And that meant that we were going to have to learn how to become the type of person that can bring in over $1 million a year in revenue and from sales. And so it was this big, audacious goal. It felt at the time when we first set the goal like winning the lottery. But over time, the belief became stronger, and we came across this formula that we decided to use because we knew that connecting to the energy of our goal is important. And how do you do that? Well, it comes through repeated action based off of an intention that you set. So in the process of goal achievement, we need to write down whatever goal that we have in our mind. It doesn't matter what the goal is, but all goals must be written because the science and research has proven that somebody that writes a goal and then somebody that doesn't, same goal in mind, the one that writes it down are 50 to 60 times more likely that they will accomplish the goal by writing it down one time. But there's only two ways that we change. And those ways that we change is either an emotional impact, like some tremendous emotional shock to our system, or repetition. Constantly repeated action and repetition is actually what forms new neural connections in our brain. That's what helps our brain to start recognizing this new pattern. That's how you program the subconscious mind. So if you're thinking about an idea that's much, much bigger, and through repeated action, you actually tune the frequency up to the desired reality. And when you do that and you hold it consistently with consistent action, then you will see that dream become a reality. Well, we knew this was the case. And so I was looking for the most efficient way to accomplish a goal. In my very first episode, I talked about this very formula. It's called the 490 formula, the 490 transformation, because when you do this repeated action, it actually forms a new neural connection in your brain. It connects you to the energy of your goal. Remember, the people that attempt a New Year's resolution or fail to achieve a goal, they're sending out the wrong signal. We have to help people get on the right frequency. We need a tuning mechanism. What I found is the 490 formula is that tuning mechanism to goal achievement. It tunes you into the frequency of the reality that you want. And then when you hold it there long enough, through repeated action, visualization, you can accomplish the goal. So this is a little bit different language than most people talk about. My goal is to make it mainstream. So it's like you're at a coffee shop, you're at a restaurant, you're over here in conversations with people said, hey, did you get on the frequency of your goal? I'm working on it. I know it's getting stronger. It's super cool. I know this is going to happen. This is going to work in my life because this process works. So my wife and I, we thought we would adapt this after I learned the fact that 490 repetitions is the number of completeness, perfection, and wholeness because it's based off of the number 70 times 7. It was originally intended for a forgiveness formula because in the Bible, Jesus, he's pretty popular around the world. I follow him and he's the most important part of my life. But he had this formula that he gave to the disciples because they were asking about forgiveness. Like, what does it take to forgive somebody? Or how many times should you forgive somebody before you are released from that emotion? Because ultimately, if we don't forgive people, if we don't forgive ourselves, we're going to be held in bondage. We're going to be held in chains for the rest of our life. And that ball and chain is not going to help us achieve our goals. If we're not forgiving the past, if we're not forgiving other people, we are going to stay stuck. And being stuck is not fun. I mean, it's just not. So what do you need to do? Well, the disciples were asking the question, like, how many times should you forgive someone? And the law at the time was just 3 times. He said, no, it's not 3 times. It's 70 times 7. And when I heard this, the reason why I thought this was so interesting and so important is because I had been studying like the most efficient way to connect to the energy of your goal. I wanted to know how many reps does it take to tune into the frequency of your desired reality. What does that mean? What does that take? So I was looking for the number. And when I heard that, it instantly sparked a whole lot of information that had been downloaded over the years from listening to people in personal development. They felt like they had to do something about 500 times before it became a part of them. And through that repeated action, it just felt like it was, this is who I am. This is a part of it. And to me, obviously about 500 times is pretty close to 490. And then Forbes magazine did an extensive research into habit formation. How many days does it take to form a new habit? And there's all kinds of research all over the place. You're going to get numbers that some people will say 21 days, other people will say 2 months. The research is all over the place. But they did an extensive study and they found that it's about 66 days. So I just started putting 2 and 2 together. We need to form new habits in the subconscious mind through repeated action. How many times is that? You have this about 66 days. Well, 70 days, pretty darn close to that. About 500 times before I feel like it's a part of me. Well, that's 490 repetitions. But the more you study 490, that number, the more you study 7 and 70, you realize that those numbers throughout all history have a significance. And the number 7 is the number of completion and perfection. So if we're going to write something down, and remember, writing something down one time, you're 50 to 60% more likely achieving the goal than the person that doesn't. But we're going to write it down 7 times a day for 70 days. This is the download that I got. And I decided through repeated action, I'm going to write down my goal 7 times a day for 70 days to see if we can increase our belief in what we're doing. You have to believe in what you're doing if you're going to accomplish a goal. If there's no belief, you will not take the proper action, and then it will just fade away. So we have to do something that helps us not just tune into the frequency of our goal, but increase our belief that this is possible. You got to get to the place with your goals that you know what's going to happen. You don't question it. If you're questioning it, just keep working on your belief system until you just know. Despite what's going on, despite the bombs going off, despite the setbacks and all the things that happen as you go towards your goal, because setting goals is not easy. We have to overcome an old program that tells us we're not worthy, that we're not enough. We have to overcome a program that is set to specific amounts that allows us to think that we're only capable of doing this, which is not true, because you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. So why not set big goals? Why not go after something much bigger? You're going to have to move through some tough times to do it because we have to rewire our brain. But the more that you work with an idea over and over and over again, and you develop that belief system, well, then all of a sudden, the tough times and the things that you have to move through are like, okay, this is just a part of the process of change. And I know that on the other side, there is a breakthrough. On the other side is where I want to be. And I'm going to keep working through all of this until I get to that point. And then we become a much stronger, much more confident, much more self-assured person that's putting the, or accomplishing the goals that was in our hearts. But it's really about matching the frequency of the reality that you want. Through this process, I call the 490 transformation, the 490 formula. It's been hiding in plain sight for over 2,000 years. Because when Jesus spoke about it, it was, back in his time, over 2,000 years. And it's been written in the Bible. And I'm wondering, why haven't people used this? Because it's so effective. It changed my wife and I, our belief in what we could do. Something I felt like was winning the lottery, getting to the top of the company, 0.01% of people that actually accomplished this goal in this industry. And we are just regular people. I was a construction guy. She was a piano teacher. We lived in a small town, hardly knew anybody, small community, but we had to become these top leaders that were influencing thousands or hundreds of thousands of people. It was a daunting task that, can we become that? But we somewhere along the way got inspired, and our desire in accomplishing this was so strong. We wanted to help people with wellness. We wanted to help people get better. And then I wanted to help people. Well, first, I wanted to help myself get out of this rut of feeling like I wasn't enough and I'm not worthy. And I just wanted to do bigger things with my life. I wanted to get out of the profession that I didn't find much passion in, or hardly any passion. It was kind of drawing me away from being that best version of myself. I wanted to be able to do bigger things. So anyway, this opportunity that presented itself was big, and we went after it. And we did use this 490 formula to tune into that frequency. And how you do that is decide what you want and then write it down 7 times a day for 70 days. And you always write it down with gratitude. It always needs to be written with gratitude. Why? Because we are so negatively charged. Gratitude is the energy that dissipates negativity the best. And it gets us into a feeling of possibility. It gets us into the place where we mentally feel like we can be abundant. It's the place where opportunity and motivation and momentum happens, is when we're in the state of gratitude. So we have to shift from that negative environment that's holding us back to a positive environment, and gratitude is the energy to do it. So when you write down your goal 7 times a day for 70 days, okay, this is tuning into the frequency of your goal. What you do is you use gratitude, because that's the necessary part of shifting your energy. And then you visualize as if it's already happened. Like, that's what you visualize. And you should also write it down as if it's already happened. You write in present tense, meaning it's here and now. Like, I am so happy and grateful now that I am this healthy weight. This is the goal. This is where I live. This is what my belief system. You're putting that program in the subconscious mind. You're connecting with the energy of the healthy person. You're connecting with the energy of earning twice as much money. This actually works. And it works 100% of the time if we just learn how to use it. This is a really powerful tool. And I'm telling you, it will work with 100% accuracy. You write down your goal 7 times a day for 70 days with gratitude in present tense. And then you take time to visualize it as if it's already happened. One of the reasons why people don't take action is because they don't know what to do. Les Brown said it's the start that stops most people. And he's right. People don't start. And the reason why is because they don't know what to do or what to take action on or how it could work. You got to disregard all of that. Write down what you want. Spend some time journaling. Writing causes thinking. So when you're journaling, it actually produces new thoughts. And you might just go through your file retrieving system in your brain to see that goal that maybe you've forgotten about. We should have a desire to do something, but we are so distracted in life. That desire is shut down primarily by all of the distraction. So sometimes you got to turn down the volume to the outside world so you can really hear what was put in your heart, the desires that you want to accomplish something. And then when you take that time and you write it out, you're like, oh, I would really like to do this. You know what? My 2025, I want to accomplish that goal. Financial goals are great, especially with how inflation is rising. If you earn the same amount the last 2 years and you're going to earn the same amount next year, we're going to make less and less money because inflation keeps going up. Cost of living goes up. And if your income doesn't go up, we go backwards. So we should set financial goals to outpace inflation. So what does that look like? What is that dollar amount? Write it down. I'm so happy and grateful now that I earn this dollar amount for my family and I see the things that we're doing and I'm not financially stressed. So your goal could be, I am so happy and grateful that my relationship is improving. It's not where I want it to be. We've used, and when I say we, I'm almost always talking about my wife and I. And so we've used this to help strengthen our marriage. Part of it was me seeing that I was a more valuable person than who I used to think I wasn't. I was so stuck in my own mind of thinking I didn't have value. That doesn't help anything. And it wasn't helping me. It wasn't helping me in my business. It wasn't helping me with my kids. So I did actually use the 490 formula to write out, I am so happy and grateful that I am a valuable person, that God sees me as valuable, and I have value to offer the world. It was very similarly written to that. And it started to change how I viewed myself. Maybe I do have value. Maybe I can offer the world something. This is why I'm doing this podcast, even though it's not the perfect podcast, but I'm okay with that. You got to start small and you got to start doing something, even if you're not perfect at it. And then you keep building from there and keep perfecting. But the reason why I'm on this podcast right now is because at one point I had to change how I viewed myself. So maybe you want to just grow personally. You want to value yourself so you can get more out of life. You want a healthier body. You want to increase your finances. You want to improve your relationship. This works with anything. We got to tune into a much better version of ourselves. We got to tune into the energy of the frequency that we desire. And that comes through being very specific with your goal. Robert A. Heinlein said that in the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia till ultimately we become enslaved by it. I don't think anybody wants to be enslaved by daily trivia. When I heard this, I knew that there were so many areas of my life that I was enslaved and I didn't want to be there anymore. So I decided to set goals that I knew could transform my life. And I'm so grateful that I came across an efficient method that you can use as well. So what do you want to accomplish in 2025? What is that clear goal? I've been talking a lot about Earl Nightingale's messaging in these past few episodes. And he said, you have to have a clear goal. So he says, do you want to be an outstanding salesman, a better worker at your particular job? Do you want to go places in your company, in your community? All you've got to do is plant that seed in your mind, care for it, work steadily towards your goal, and it will become a reality. It not only will, there's no way that it cannot. You see, it is like the law of Sir Isaac Newton, the law of gravity. If you get to the top of a building and jump off, you'll always go down. You'll never go up. And it's the same with all the other laws. They always work. They're inflexible. Think about your goal in a relaxed, positive way. Picture yourself in your mind's eye as having already achieved this goal. See yourself doing the things you will be doing when you've reached your goal. There are laws that are in place. And sometimes we have so much clutter in our life that we don't have room for something new, for something better. And if you understand the vacuum law of prosperity, the vacuum law of prosperity is this idea that we attract what we want, but you have to make room for it. Because right now, currently, there could be a negative program that's not allowing space in your life to insert this new program. We have to do some decluttering. We have to lower the volume of negativity in our life. When our mind's going towards how it won't work, I'm not the person for the job, I can't do this, guess what? We have no room for I can do this. I am the person for the job. I can accomplish this. We have to start turning down the volume. And when we turn down the volume of negativity, we start to create a space for what we want. All voids must be filled, and there are no voids. That's why it says the vacuum law of prosperity, nature abhors a vacuum. And if we are getting negative results in our life, it's just that we've created a space for the negativity. But if you remove that, there's a space there and it's got to be filled with something. And if you don't fill it with something good, then it's going to be filled back up with the same thing that was there before, getting the same results. So make sure you turn down the volume to negativity so you create a space for what you want. We got to tune into the frequency of our goal. This is how all of this works. So in 2025, think about what you want. What do you want to accomplish? And start thinking and make it as simple as, you know what? I've never really understood or I've never even heard of this concept of tuning into the frequency of the good that I desire, like match the frequency of my goal. It's kind of weird, but it sounds interesting. I'm just going to try it. If nothing else has worked before, why not give this a shot? Use gratitude, use this written formula, writing it out 7 times a day for 70 days. At the end of the 70 days, it will be 490 repetitions. The complete cycle, the complete process of forming that neural connection in your brain. Your subconscious mind is picking up on this program. And guess what? The reason why, like I was talking about, how Les Brown said the start is what stops most people, is because they don't have the right ideas to take action on. And if you don't have an idea to take action on, it'll never happen because action is what brings it into fruition. Action is how it works. You can't just think and grow rich, even though that title of the book has served millions of people. And in that book, actually the title of that book should be different. It should be Think Big, Act Big, and Grow Rich, because you have to have action behind all of this. There's a word called praxis. It is the integration of belief with behavior. Some people say they want something, but their actions would indicate they've never heard of it. It's just a fleeting fantasy. It's just a desire. It's just a dream. But without action, nothing can happen. Faith without works is dead. Visualization without action is also dead. So when we write out our goal and we connect to it, we get ideas. Those ideas are your neon signs to take action on. It could be a crazy idea. It could be something that's weird, off, something that you never thought of before. Somebody comes to you and has a conversation with you about something that you could do. It's like, well, that's weird, but hey, maybe that's the thing. And you take action. You try things out. You attempt things and you fail at things and you keep working at it because right now you're starting to switch. You're starting to change your frequency and you're tuning into the frequency of that goal. That means that your day is going to be different. We're going to have to do some different routines. We're going to have to create a space and a time for the things that we want if we want our life to be different. We can't stay the same by doing the same actions. If you want 2025 to be different, you're going to have to do something different in your life. It's just how it works. Your actions are going to have to back up the belief system that you and the goal that you set. But the cool thing is that the process of reprogramming your brain is pretty simple. You're just writing out your goal 7 times a day for 70 days. You're visualizing it as if it's already happened. That's the creative process. And then when you have the ideas, you take action and you do this over and over and over again. There's going to be days where it feels like it's not working. There's going to be a lot of those days. There's going to be days where like, this is dumb, or why am I even wasting my time? But you keep showing up and you keep putting in the time and you keep putting in the action steps. And that belief will change. Your confidence will grow. And at some point, it'll click in your brain that I'm the person for the job, that I can do this, that this is the new reality. I am this healthy weight. And once you match the frequency of the goal, you'll achieve it. That's just how this works. So this is this exciting process of goal achievement. So if you want to pursue something, match the frequency of your goal and you will accomplish it. My goal is to keep growing this podcast, to keep adding information, to keep growing a following just for the sake of connecting with more people and helping them accomplish what has been frustrating in their life that they haven't accomplished. Or I should say, they should be able to accomplish any goal, any dream that they've had in their heart for a long time that hasn't been accomplished. So all I want to do is just keep adding value to the lives of people, adding value to your life, because God sees you as somebody that's incredible. He put you here for a specific purpose and a reason to accomplish something massive. And the only way that's going to ever happen is if we start out accomplishing that first simple goal. And then when we get this confidence and strength that we can accomplish a goal, then we set it bigger and then bigger and bigger and bigger. And before you know it, we've removed layers of other people's thinking, other people's programs, and we get a clear vision of who we are, that incredible person that can accomplish really anything that's along our path. So thank you so much for joining me today on this episode. I hope you set and achieve big goals in 2025. I'm going to keep producing information, keep talking about this type of stuff, giving more insights and tips and tricks and tools that you can use to keep growing into the person that you were supposed to be all along. I think who you are is incredible. God thinks who you are is incredible. So let's keep working at finding that person, going out there and changing the lives of people and making a difference. Your powerful transformation is right around the corner. We can use the 490 to tap into the frequency of the reality that you want. Remember, it can be no other way. It's not philosophy, it's physics. It works. So thank you for your time, and we'll see you on the next episode.